I'm homeless in a tent in London. But for the last 4 nights, I've been in a SWEP bed in a St Mungo's women's hostel. SWEP stands for Severe Weather Emergency Protocol. SWEP beds are only open while the temperature is 0 degrees or below, which in London is never more than a few days. As soon as the temperature goes up to 1 degree, SWEP beds close, and they kick all rough sleepers out back to the streets to continue sleeping rough. Most of the SWEP beds in London are not beds at all, but 15 mattresses on the floor in a hall in inhumane conditions. My SWEP bed is in a spare room in a St Mungo's women's hostel on Church Walk, N16. The St Mungo's women's hostel is a crack house. All the residents are crack addicts who openly smoke crack in their rooms. A resident told me she deals crack from the hostel. St Mungo's staff illegally condone it and allow them to smoke crack in their rooms so they'll stay. Because St Mungo's are profiting about £2,000 a month paid by Universal Credit for each resident. I have the windows open the whole time. But the crack smoke comes under my bedroom door and round the doorframe, leaving me suffocating, very nauseous, dizzy and faint. It's causing me a sore throat and I'm losing my voice. I had to sleep with the windows open in -8 degrees, so it was just as cold as sleeping outside in my tent. I slept in my clothes with one of my feather-down jackets on and my insulated hat in my -7 degrees sleeping bag, under the duvet. It's worse than sleeping outdoors in my tent because it's just as cold, but outdoors the air is fresh and crack-free. The only reason I haven't left the crack house yet is because I want to record videos to expose St Mungo's. Again, I was unable to shower in the crack house because the shower is filthy. The homeless day centre does not open on Tuesdays, so I had nowhere to shower. I left the crack house at 7:30 AM because of the crack smoke. It was absolutely freezing all day. It was -3 degrees. I went to a drop-in for rough sleepers. They have free breakfast but don't have a shower. I had cornflakes, a fried egg and baked beans. They had surplus yogurts in glass jars that looked very expensive. I took 3. It was freezing in the homeless drop-in, despite them having the heating on. After the homeless drop-in, I went to the library to keep warm. It was snowing on the way to the library. I had been in the library for about an hour when Thamesreach Homeless Outreach Team called me, telling me SWEP is now closed, and I must go to the SWEP room to pack up my belongings and leave. I don't know if it was still snowing while I was in the library, but it was -8 degrees at night, -3 degrees until lunchtime, and it was snowing when I arrived at the library. SWEP is a scam, nothing but a PR exercise for the government. The Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, and councils to make the public believe they are getting rough sleepers off the streets in sub-zero temperatures, while leaving us on the streets. SWEP was supposed to be open while it's 0 degrees or below, but it ended the same day it was -8 degrees, and an hour after it was snowing. I returned to the crack house to collect what little I had left there, my sleeping bag and some food. One of the cabinet doors in my room was wide open. I had never opened any of the cabinets, and obviously the cabinet door didn't open on its own. Somebody had been in my room again looking through the cabinets for things to steal. The crack dealer was right. There are residents with the master key who go into rooms looking for stuff to steal. This was the second time someone had been in my room. They didn't steal anything because I followed the crack dealer's advice and took everything with me when I went out. I told the St Mungo's worker that someone had been in my room and left the cabinet door wide open that I left closed when I went out in the morning. That it was the second time someone had gone through my belongings looking for things to steal. She gaslighted me that they have CCTV and nobody had been in my room. I had dinner at a free food place that has takeaways indoors. It was rice and veg. It was very hot, so I added some surplus clotted cream to make it milder. I asked for another takeaway for tomorrow. If you're homeless or facing homelessness in UK, I have lists of where to get free meals and food, where to shower, do laundry in 100 locations in UK. Also, how to get temporary accommodation from your council and rehoused in England, Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland. I also wrote homeless survival guides for UK, US and an international version for those of you elsewhere. The links are on my pinned post.